Hello and welcome to another episode of Destination 101, the official podcast for District 101, with me, Sneha Sharma. This is where we explore leadership, communication, and the power of community through the stories of extraordinary people who have made a mark in their fields. Today's episode is particularly special because we are diving into the world of marketing, leadership, and cultural intelligence with someone who has successfully bridged all of these worlds, Shalini Kaushik. Shalini is the marketing director for District 101 for the 2023-24 term and has been instrumental in driving powerful campaigns that not only build brand visibility, but also foster deeper community engagement. With over 15 years of experience in the IT industry and a strong background in computer science, she blends engineering, marketing, and communication with incredible ease. She is also a polyglot who has lived across Russia, Italy, Northeast, and Southern India and brings a unique global perspective to leadership. In this conversation, we'll unpack her journey, her strategies for leading District 101 to President's Distinguished status, her approach to creating campaigns that resonate, and how cultural intelligence and language can shape leadership. So, let's dive in. Shalini, welcome to Destination 101.
Thank you, Sneha. You are too kind, actually. You gave such a big description about me. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you so much. The pleasure is all ours. But Shalini, the first thing I would like to ask you is, as the marketing director for District 101 during the tenure 23-24, what were your key responsibilities and how did your role differ from that of a club growth director or program quality director? And could you also give us a peek into how these roles complement each other in achieving a district's goal?
Sure. Thank you for this question. In 2023-2024 term for District 101, my key responsibilities were mainly centered around developing and executing district's marketing strategy to boost the brand awareness and attract prospective members. I was also overseeing the digital campaigns, website management, social media marketing, newsletters, and branding guidelines. Important thing is I was coordinating with the district leadership team to align marketing messages with district priorities and to make sure that everyone in the sense, all the members, officers, they were communicating with each other. I started two WhatsApp groups. One was the district officers group where all the officers were together, and another one was the VPPR group where the PR managers for each club were all there and they could exchange ideas. My primary focus as marketing director was to drive overall brand visibility, digital content strategy, and create outreach initiatives. Whereas the club growth director was mainly directing campaigns and initiatives, especially for chartering new clubs and retaining the old ones, plus supporting enrollment efforts, basically increasing membership. And the program quality director was meant to improve the quality of the educational programs, trainings, contests. So I would like to say from day one, I was part of the leadership team, which was one of the greatest things which happened because I was always in the loop with what the district was doing. My role was to connect the marketing efforts with the vision of our leaders. Basically, the club growth folks would use our marketing materials to bring new people in, and the program quality team made sure the members had an amazing experience, in turn, giving us great stories to promote. In short, I would say, as a marketing director and the marketing team understood that our role was to amplify district's voice. And in fact, I would like to tell you that our marketing team's name was the Amplifiers. That's how we were known.
That's amazing. That's something unique because dividing the groups into two, and that's quite strategic approach to handle the team. Shalini, with over 15 years in the IT industry and a background in computer science, How has your ability to merge engineering, marketing, and communication given you a competitive edge in the digital media space and in leadership roles like the one in Toastmasters?
So I leveraged my tech background to revamp our digital presence. I built automated email funnel to follow up with the guests, implemented newsletters for the non-members who were interested, redesigned the website for better SEO, and we use analytics to track engagement. Um, Basically, I combined the engineering logic with marketing strategy to create campaigns, which actually converted visitors into members. Let me give you an example. We had a theme, Together We Grow, in 2023 to 2024. That year, we showcased our theme with a seed unfurling its leaf and growing into a plant. That was visual storytelling. So that really helped. I would say these three things, technical literacy, then marketing and communication skills, they work very well together. If you have technical literacy, it's easy to build trust and clarity about a product because you know how the inner workings of a product are. With marketing awareness, you ensure the relevance of the product in the market because you know about the marketing trends. And with communication skills, you can make data driven decisions and you can use storytelling to convey your point. So these three skills are so important because they empower the technical team as well as the business side by becoming kind of a bridge in between them.
That's something that I think every Toastmaster should strive for, because including the technical skills along with the storytelling and the marketing awareness, that's something that will help the community also leverage the entire potential of the individual. So it's a good help for the listeners. Shalini, for those who may not know, what does it take for a club or a district to achieve the President Distinguished status in Toastmasters? Because many people have this confusion. And based on your experience leading District 101 to that milestone, what efforts or strategies, especially in terms of marketing or engagement, do you believe made the most impact in getting there?
So, to achieve President's Distinguished status, there are some goals which need to be fulfilled. For example, one of the goals is number of paid membership should be a certain number. That should be more than 5,580 members. Then number of active clubs is very important. Number of clubs that also reach distinguished status is important. We had around 62 distinguished clubs. I do not know exactly where the cutoff is, but we were above the cutoff. At the end of 2023, 2024, we went from around 5,300 to 5,600, achieving this present distinguished status. Now, the key strategies were really interesting. One was data-driven multi-channel marketing, which we did. We launched coordinated digital campaigns across email, social media marketing, district website to promote all the open houses, district programs. In fact, one interesting thing which we did was we not only promoted the district programs, we promoted individual clubs, open houses also through the district so that these clubs were exposed to more members. Then we had stories and testimonials from members, which we share regularly, which actually personalized this journey of Toastmaster. We involved members by creating engagement campaigns. We had certain contests like the blog writing contest, which was called the Freedom Writers after the movie, where the members actually wrote their own testimonials in terms of blogs. And we had a very interesting reel making contest, which was called Good, Bad, and Ugly. Here, Toastmasters, they shared their experiences, how they improved in Toastmaster, what they were facing, the challenges, how they overcame. Then we had a very good collaboration, which I'm stressing upon from the very beginning, that we worked very closely with the club growth and program quality leaders to align our incentives and ensure that we were clear on our goals, what we wanted to do. Plus, we provided training. We provided marketing templates, PR training to individual club members. We had workshops, we had individual webinars, and we taught the VPPRs in different clubs how to promote and how to create marketing material. I think that was That was very important. Plus, what made the biggest impact? Personalized storytelling. Each member sharing their experiences
Yeah.
connected them with the people who wanted to join but were not ready to join. They understood the importance of joining Toastmaster. Second was consistent, high quality digital presence, which we had across different channels. Like we had it on Facebook, LinkedIn, and that is how we this made the biggest impact. But I would like to again stress upon the point that every team member worked together to promote the district. It was actually a collaboration of team members, which really worked in our favor.
I know because I think many districts I've seen, I've interviewed other people as well. So many districts start this initiative of highlighting personal stories, but it's not, they are not able to sustain it over the period of time because of team non-cooperation and things like that, their
Mhm.
own personal differences. So it's really commendable that you were able to achieve those targets. Uh, Shalini, you design powerful campaigns across industries. What is your approach to creating a campaign that resonates, whether it's for a tech product or a community-based organization like Toastmasters?
So I am a storyteller. So whenever I launch any campaign, I lead it with storytelling because that's the thread that ties strategy, empathy, and the impact together. It's very important to humanize the brand, humanize whatever we are projecting, any product also, so that you can connect emotionally and you place the audience in the center of the narrative. That way they can connect with the product. Similarly, let me tell you a small story about Toastmasters because our product is Toastmasters, right? So I moved from India to US, and after a work gap of almost 7 years, it was not easy to go back to work. Every woman who stops working or quits working knows and understands the difficulty. But I joined Toastmasters. It infused back my confidence. Most of the time people say, what do you learn from Toastmasters? You learn public speaking skill, right? You improve upon your public speaking skills and you improve on leadership. But according to me, Toastmasters allowed me to explore myself. And I realized how I had so far impacted the world through my stories by looking inside myself, what all I did. I had done so many activities in my life which I never valued, like starting a daycare center in software company in Bangalore in 2002. There was no daycare centers around. This was the first daycare center, means the second daycare center which has started in a software company. But I never thought it was a great thing unless till I discovered it. Oh my God, I made this impactful change in the world, which has benefited so many other employees. So Toastmaster gave me that um reflection about myself that I had done something great, and the confidence increased by rediscovering myself. Now I have a startup of my own, which is called Stories Will Live, thanks to Toastmasters. So this would be a story which I would like to tell people about Toastmaster. And this is how a successful campaign is. We blend strategy with storytelling and data. Now, I would like to give you another example. Uh, so, how we improve the event attendance for Toastmasters program, our District 101 programs. One of the event, when I analyzed it, I saw that there was 7% attendance only, just 7% out of all the members. And on analysis, we figured out this was because the information about the program was not trickling through. Many of the members didn't know anything about it. So we made an effort to involve all the directors, all the leadership, division directors, area directors, presidents, everybody together. And we made sure that people knew about these events, what the benefits were, and they were following our district newsletter and social media updates. The whole team of leaders started attending different club meetings to spread the information. And know the impact. The district's newsletter had a whopping 55% open rate. Social media engagement were up by 40%, and member stories resulted in 30% increase in event attendance. So the next event, we had more than like increase of 30%. So we understood from that, we also understood that people were ready to come back for in-person conferences. So that is how we leverage data to make improvements.
So you think it's a team effort and everybody needs to market the information they have about their
Yes,
work. And yeah,
yes.
yeah. That's an important strategy that certainly works. Shalini, having lived in Russia, Italy, Northeast, and Southern India, how has your exposure to so many cultures shaped your leadership and communication style?
So you must be wondering how come I know these diverse languages? They're totally different
Yes,
languages.
yes,
But I actually, my elementary and middle school were in Rome. That's how I learned Italian. Whereas my college years were in Russia, where I learned Russian. And Sanskrit and Hindi, they come from my cultural background. And each language gives you a very different perspective. My thinking is that if you know a language, you will read the literature. When you read the literature, you'll understand the culture, how people think, how they develop problem solving skills. So you understand different cultures and different ways of problem solving. That's how language shapes who you are. I can give an example about how the brain thinks. For example, if I used to say a lot, Shaslivi Bhav. Now, Shaslivi Bhav sounds like a Sanskrit word, right?
yes.
But Shaslivi is a Russian word.
Oh,
And I combined it with a Sanskrit word and made it be happy. So in Sanskrit, it's Sukhi Bhav, but Russian plus Sanskrit makes it Shaslivi Bhav. So there are many words which get so ingrained in your brain, you use it in common language while speaking. So my kids also know a few words from different languages. I was reading a joke in Italian language one day, and I started laughing. And I wanted to share the joke with my husband. So I translated it in English and I told him the joke, but it was no more funny at all.
uh,
And I
I,
understood, okay, the words are not mere tools to communicate, they
yes,
are tools to feel in a certain way. So when I'm talking in Russian, I get this feeling of cold waves of some snowstorm, mingled with a hot bread, the aroma of a hot bread out of oven. Then Italian makes me feel all mushy and nostalgic and emotional. I don't know why. And Sanskrit is all about being practical, grammatically correct phrases and idioms. I feel it's more of a language of truth and knowledge.
yeah.
So understanding different cultures, you can empathize with people. You are able to adjust on how to communicate depending on with whom you are talking. So, as you know, we are all very diverse people. We have different skin colors, we eat different food, we have different languages, right?
Yeah.
But internally, inside, what I have learned is we are all human beings. We all feel the same. We all have similar challenges in life. We all laugh the same, we cry the same. This actually helps you connect with people it helps you in work and life because you know everybody is equal. So just yeah, in today's world, it's very important to feel empathy for other human beings.
Yes. So that's how Toastmasters appeals to us, connecting personal with the universal and some common emotions that every one of us feel. And
Yeah,
you truly, I loved that line when you mentioned that there is an honesty, a truthfulness in every language, and that comes through with the words that you read in literature. That's very well said. Uh, Shalini, this question is also similar to the previous one, but a little tweak here. You speak multiple languages, Russian, Italian, Sanskrit, Hindi, English, as you mentioned. How has being a polyglot helped you in connecting with people, both professionally and personally also? And do you feel that languages shape how you communicate or think?
yeah, definitely. They shape us in the way we think because you see, just as I said, when you know a language, you will know the culture, right? When you know the culture, you know the kind of people are there, the kind of challenges they have. So you will start thinking the way they think. That is how you will change yourself.
Yeah, yeah. So, don't you think that having an additional context when you know a certain language, you have that context when someone is sharing their story, the
Mm.
background, the kind of emotions that matter to them. Because I'm
Yes.
also a part of different clubs where people come from different cultural background. So knowing and
Mhm.
understanding their language and background, it really helps in connecting with them better.
Yes,
So,
yes.
yeah.
I can give you an example here. So I knew one I had a Bulgarian friend, and every time I will ask her something, she will shake her head like this. And I would think, why is she saying no? So in Bulgarian, this is a yes. For us, this is a no, right?
Yes.
So understanding that, that's a very tiny thing, but there are many
I
such
know.
big things,
Yes.
in different cultures.
Very true.
So
Yes. Some
interesting.
people have very loud gestures in their culture, and somewhere like in India, if it's considered a little, bold if you speak that loudly. And so, for example, the daughter-in-laws are not supposed to speak that loudly in some houses, and
Right.
so the culturals
Yeah,
differ so
yeah.
much.
Another thing, like in Russia, when you are going in a bus, everybody's quiet. Nobody talks. It's very quiet. Some people will be either reading books or sitting quietly. We would be talking like crazy at the top of our voices. Like it's so natural for us. So that's a cultural difference which comes in.
Cultural difference, certainly. So, yes, those two examples really made us understand how different, it could be, and how informative if it could be if you have the knowledge of that culture. Shalini, one last question. What is one piece of advice you would give to someone who wants to become a better communicator and leader, but doesn't come from a traditional communication background?
One thing which I learned from Toastmasters was that you should connect with people through one-on-one conversations. That's my advice. When you have one-on-one conversations with your members in the club, you start understanding their background, where they come from, what are their challenges, and how you can help them. So the tool is actively listening. So you actively listen not to respond, but to understand them. That way you can connect with them. Lack of communication actually causes a lot of unnecessary problems because people start guessing, making assumptions. Best is to talk to people one on one, build trust, and build relationships. They go a long way.
I believe it works for both as a leader if you want to improve and as a communicator.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much, Shalini. That was such an insightful conversation. And I loved how you spoke about blending technical expertise with creativity, and how cultural intelligence, knowing different languages, uh, shaped your career as a leader and a communicator.
Thank you.
If you are part of Toastmasters or any community-driven organization, I hope this episode gives you practical ideas for building engagement, leading with vision, and thinking beyond traditional skill sets. Shalini's journey is a reminder that leadership is not about a title, but about collaboration, adaptability, and the courage to experiment with new ideas. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Destination 101. If you enjoyed this conversation, don't forget to subscribe, share it with a friend, and leave us a review. I'll be back with another inspiring story soon. Until then, this is Sneha Sharma signing off. Sayonara.